Hello everybody. Now the more observant ones of you will notice that I have got the same shirt as Y8. That's because I haven't left a week in between the two. I've recorded Y9, which is this one, which is Where Next, immediately after Y8. So this week we're going to finish the course by reflecting on everything that we've learned and developing a plan to put your personal brand into action. By the end of this week, you'll be able to reflect on your learning from the course, plan your next steps in developing and promoting your personal brand, and recognise some possible future steps to develop your personal brand even further. So, from the sessions, what have we learned? So, we've considered a variety of brand elements and how we might use them to promote ourselves effectively to colleagues, peers and employers. By working through each activity, we've investigated and hopefully also re-evaluated ourselves. So we've looked at current brand, brand values, brand strengths, brand personality, brand story, target audience, and tactics for promoting your brand online and in writing or in person. So this is perhaps quite a big task, and this is putting it all together. Task number 1, putting it all together. So review your notes and responses to all the tasks we've done. Then I'm going to ask you to summarize the key learning points. Don't make them detailed, just use bullet points. If you like, we have talked about the information. You guys have written it down in your book. We've brought it back up in different ways, looking at various things like analysing Whitlingham, looking at the CEO's job at Plessy Brennan, and doing the mind maps and sharing the mind maps. So we are using the information lots and lots of times because that takes it from your short-term memory into your deeper memory. So this is the last time I'm going to ask you to do this, is to make a few short notes, bullet points on the things you've learned over the course. Now, you guys who did the learned I knew before and I knew after, you already have a head start on this because this is exactly what this is. So for example, week 1, where am I starting from? Describe my brand to a stranger. What do I want my personal brand to do for my career? Week 2, understanding marketing principles and practices. What do you do? What colour is my brand? Personal branding explained. How a personal brand can help me at work. Can I be authentic at work? Developing my personal brand. Identifying my values and describing myself. Promoting my brand to employers. My audience. How adaptable am I? Promoting my brand online. Using an online platform. Choosing a platform. Promoting my brand in handwriting and in person. A personal profile or my CV opening lines. So, what next? Before beginning your action planning process that we're going to go on to, here's a quick look back at the Design Council's 4 cornerstones of a good brand. So, the big idea. What lies at the heart of your offer? Values. What do you believe in? Vision. Where are you going? Personality. How do you want to come across? A key part of presenting your personal brand is your answer to the question, what do you do? Or your elevator pitch, which should encapsulate the 4 cornerstones in a 30 to 60 second summary. We started to think about things back in the 2nd or 3rd session, but what was at the early stages in these sessions and you were focusing on your current role, Sorry, I've messed that up. I'm going to go straight on to elevator pitch. There are many ways to approach an elevator pitch. As you saw in Simon Sinek's advice, starting with the why, in a competitive marketplace, there are many people have skills and experience to perform well in the given role. Why you want to do it, i.e. your personal motivation. It can be a useful differentiator. So, it's suggested that perhaps the content of your elevator pitch, easy for you to say, should answer the following questions. What do you do? Who do you help? What benefits do you deliver? Who do you deliver them to? Why is it important? What's a great example of when you delivered? Other advice, and I quite like this one because I like the first piece of advice, is this. Say as little as possible. 1 to 3 things. Include the parts of your story that are relevant to the situation you're in. If they're interested, they'll ask for more. Decide what you're looking for and emphasize your most relevant experience. Figure out who you are talking to. Tailor your pitch to your audience. Emphasize the problem you solve rather than what you do. That one is key. Include numbers and concrete details. This will make the pitch more memorable. Turn it into a conversation. So, task number 2 in Y9, what next, is my elevator pitch. So choose a person or an organisation that you'd like to pitch your brand to. Keep in mind their priorities and interests. In your books, write your elevator pitch. It will probably be easier to write everything you can think of initially and then edit it down to the crucial points. A bullet-pointed list might be easier to remember than a narrative script. What I tend to do in these situations is I do the download, where I write down as many bullet points as I can, and then I try and prioritise them with order with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then rewrite it and have a look. Can I sing a song from those perhaps 3 things? The gent said, say 1 to 3 things. Is that going to be my 30 to 60 seconds? Is the way I'd approach it. You do it your own way if you like, but that's how I do it. Now, look back at the brand story you wrote in session 5, I think. This is the detail that sits behind and supports your elevator pitch. It may have changed since you've wrote it and we've done more work together. And also you consider the needs of the employers that you've said you're going to pitch this to, and look more closely at the employers who interest you. You've also looked at different ways in which you might communicate your brand. Task number 3, editing my story. So, look at your personal story. Think about the feedback you received in the first draft. Is there anything you want to change in response to that? Considering your learning from all of the sessions, is there anything else you'd like to refine, add, remove? For example, are there strengths that you want to give more emphasis to now you know about who your target employers and what they are looking for? So action planning. Most planning involves using the SMART method, which is S for specific, M for measurable, A for agreed, R for realistic, and time bound. So specific, I quite like it because it means that your goal will do something. So it will actually achieve something, whether that's something big or something small, but it will achieve something. And also as well, the goal is stated very, very, very clearly. Measurable. And what I mean there is that you know what winning looks like. you know how you can say that you have achieved that goal. Agreed. Agreed is a difficult one because agreed could be agreed with the person that you're liaising with to produce these smart action plans. The agreed part isn't it easy for us here. So if you can't find an agreed bit, don't worry about it. It's realistic. For example, me playing in the Premiership is unrealistic. No matter what else I can fill in the S, M, A, and T, there's no chance. I am not going to play football professionally. So it needs to be realistic and importantly time bound. I find it best to have a range of different times in my different goals, my smart planning. And what I mean by that is that I would have one that was in 2 weeks. I'd have one that was in 6 weeks. I'd have one that was in 3 months. I'd have one that was in 6 months. Because then you're not waiting or working towards or procrastinating and not doing anything for the 6 month one. And it's nice when all of them link. So you know you must achieve that to then move on to the next part, to then move on to the next part, to then move on to the 6 month one. I hope that makes some sense. So your goals might be in the short term to join LinkedIn or Facebook so you can communicate your brand that way, or maybe more significant, such as aiming to change your job within a year. The more complex they are, the more actions you might need to achieve them. That's coming back to the point of the multiple goals. Okay, I hope I do okay at this bit. So here goes. So, the goal is to promote my personal brand and use it to obtain a job within a year. That's quite specific, isn't it? So you're going to switch to a personal brand method of communicating. And also as well, you're going to obtain a new job within a year. So current status, experience, knowledge and skills. A, I haven't consciously promoted my personal brand before. Okay, fair enough. B, knowledge. I have a clear brand that I feel confident about. C, skills. I have skills needed to promote my brand. So the action plan could be something like is define my target audience of potential employers. Identify the strengths and values of relevance to my target employers and compare them to my own. Join and participate in suitable social media groups, posting comments that reflects my own personal brand on a regular basis. Look for opportunities to relevant conferences and other sector-specific networking events. Review relevant application processes and start to apply. Outcome. I have generated shortlists of employers I'm most interested in and I'm booked onto 2 relevant conferences in July. I've also joined 2 LinkedIn groups. Evaluation. I'm currently reviewing the comments and content posted by other members of the group and waiting to receive a list of conference delegates. Next steps. Connect with key delegates on LinkedIn and catch up with them at the conference. Post my first comment by the end of the week. Be ready to make applications as relevant opportunities arise. Okay, task 4. Y9 Where Now? Achieving my goals. Plan your future. So we got a template similar to that I shall put onto Padlet and use the template to set your goals and work through your next steps. If your workplace has a template, use that. What I would say here is where you've got gaps in what you're doing, you may want to share that with each other and myself on Padlet and ask me what I think, or ask each other what they think or what they've put. All as you need is to open up that way of thinking before you start to populate that cell, that box on your plan. You're not expected to have a complete plan that's all singing and dancing immediately. That's not how it works. Okay, advanced personal branding. I'll come on to that in the next session just so I don't run out of load up time.